now Congressman Mark Green, Republican from Tennessee, a combat veteran. Congressman, we've just heard there are thousands of ISIS-K, I'm going to call them terrorists, in the area around the Kabul airport, coordinating attacks. Looks like we're in for a mass hostage situation. What's your analysis?
So, Stuart, thanks for having me on. I'm talking to people that were at the Abbey Gate this morning, via my own contacts that are there. Absolutely, this is what we would have expected to happen. They concentrated the entire force into one single location as opposed to using multiple sites to exfil from. And so the enemy gets to concentrate itself, and that means all the terrorists. The multinational terrorist organizations are incredibly well organized, despite the fact that Trump destroyed ISIS in Syria and Iraq. They're still very, very well organized. They're all merging into Afghanistan around that Kabul airport.
When you were in Iraq, you helped in the mission to capture Saddam Hussein, and you then interrogated Saddam, I believe, for a couple of hours. So how does it feel now we're being run out of town by the terrorists that you beat? How do you feel about it?
Well, it's pretty disgusting, honestly, and heartbreaking, and I get anger and depression kind of all at the same time. Like a lot of veterans, I was in Afghanistan too. I was there when Pat Tillman was killed. I've lost friends in Afghanistan and Iraq. This is, if you were planning on how to screw it up, this is exactly how you'd plan to do it, the way this administration has done it. And I put the blame on Joe Biden because he's the one setting the troop caps that led to the generals basically saying, well, there's no way we can man Bagram with 600 Marines, so we have to collapse into the small perimeter airfield in Kabul. The generals did what they were told to do and advised the president not to do that, but he did it anyway.
Back in 1979, in the Tehran hostage crisis, it was 52 Americans held hostage for 444 days. Is it possible that we're now setting up a similar situation with thousands of hostages going on for a long time? I mean, that's an extreme thing for me to suggest, but it sure looks like it, doesn't it?
Well, there absolutely will be Americans who are left there if they stick to this August 31 deadline. And if there are Americans left there, many of them will be captured. Some may be killed immediately for, just the political effect or the, propaganda effect for both the Taliban and ISIS-K and other organizations, but many will be held hostages. They will be held for ransom. They will be held for political statements. So that's why I'm insisting. What happened today was a failure of the Taliban to keep their promise. They promised they would secure safe passage for Americans and our allies. They have failed. That gives us a pretense to say, okay, well, if you can't do that, we're going to expand and get every American out before we leave. This is an opportunity. I hate to say that because we had people that were killed in this explosion, but it is now gives him in his negotiations, which, by the way, should never have happened in the first place. Sure. But the Taliban broke their agreement. So come on, Mr. President, let's use this to get every American out of there, which should have been what he was doing in the first place.
He should do it, but do you think he will? 20 seconds. Do you think he will?
I don't think so. The information that the president is giving us is either one, lies, or he's just totally out of touch with what's going on because his own secretaries continue to basically disagree with his statements. I mean, within minutes of him saying it. So he's either lying or he has no clue what's going on, both of which are just bad.
A terrible thing to say about the President of the United States and the Commander-in-Chief. But Mark Green, Republican, Tennessee, Congressman, thanks for joining us, sir. We appreciate it very much, sir. Thank you. All right, we're going to bring you the latest headlines as we get them. More Varney after